Well, good afternoon and welcome to From Someone Who Knows. It's a weekly segment we host here on our digital platforms where you get more behind the story. You get more of the story than we can give you on Channel 19. We have time restraints on Channel 19. Maybe you get 2-3 minutes of a story, but here we can bring you full interviews, and that's what we're going to do today. It was an absolute tragedy. This was Tuesday morning at about 7:30 in Painesville. The fire department gets called to a home on Levan Drive, and as you can see, the home was fully engulfed when the fire department arrived and is basically a complete and total loss. The problem is when the fire department was called, they were told a woman was trapped inside. And you're going to hear how that weighs on the fire chief and the crews when they head to a fire knowing that someone is in a very bad situation, and ultimately she did not make it out. Also injured in this was a man. Their names have not been officially released, their full names. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. You're going to hear from a neighbor who didn't even recognize that man because he was burned so badly when he came knocking for help. And those are going to be the two interviews you get to hear today in their entirety. First, from the fire chief of Painesville, talking about not only what it's like arriving to a scene where someone is in dire need, but then also think about the conditions. 7:30 in the morning on Tuesday, it was about 2 degrees. For the crews in there. They did have some mutual aid, but first let's listen to the interview from Chief Thomas Hummel. Take a listen.
It's about 7:33 this morning. We received a call of a structure fire at 69 Levan Street here in Painesville. It was reported when we went en route that there was possible entrapment, and we arrived on scene to find heavy fire and smoke from two sides of the home. We immediately went into an aggressive interior attack in hopes of finding a victim. There was an adult male victim outside the home that was transported by Painesville Township Squad to Hillcrest, and he is currently in critical condition. The female was located in the home, but she was deceased. And at this time, the Lake County Coroner, our East End Fire Investigation Unit, and the State Fire Marshal's Office are on scene conducting an investigation.
I mean, how difficult is it for you when you go to one of these fires knowing possible entrapment? I mean, it's already going to be a really tough
We battle a lot of stuff every day. We roll out of here with 6 people on duty. Now, because it was right at shift change, we had 4 extra people here that were able to respond immediately, which was a great help. The cold weather doesn't help any, being 2 degrees outside. We always are concerned about having water issues. We did not have any. The hydrant was accessible and worked fine. That was great. We have plenty of mutual aid. We received automatic aid from 3 other departments and had an additional 4 on our MABUS alarm, and all companies were put to work at some point in time. But those are the toughest calls. When you hear somebody is trapped, that's the toughest. That your adrenaline's at the top right then, and I know our guys worked their butts off to try and get that person out and weren't successful.
How do the temperatures, like you said, sometimes you could have water issues, but how do the temperatures impact firefighting?
Everything freezes so quickly. If water's not moving, it freezes. If you've seen videos of firemen walking around with icicles hanging off their helmets and ice trucks covered in ice, everything just freezes immediately, and that makes it dangerous for slips and falls and for cold exposure, frostbite, and those kind of things as well.
And I just want to make sure we know the man is in critical condition. He was found outside the home, but a woman and a dog were found inside.
There was also a dog and a cat that were found in the home that didn't make it, and we did transport those animals over to Big Creek Veterinary in Concord for safekeeping at this time.
I guess at this point, I mean, this is just a tragedy. I mean, how often do you see stuff like this happening in Painesville?
Fortunately for us, fatal fires don't occur very often. Since I've been chief, I think we've had 1 or 2 other fatal fires. This year we've had an exceptional amount of fires. This is our 7th fire already in January of this year. We had 1 fire that was over $1 million in fire loss, and this is obviously a fatal fire, being the worst kind that we could have.
Any idea what happened at this point?
No, as I said, everything is under investigation right now. We have no idea of any cause or origin or any damage estimate at this time.
Smoke detectors?
Unknown. I could not tell you. I didn't hear any beeping when I got there, but the house was very well involved in fire, and it could be they were already damaged beyond repair. So.
Is it considered a total loss?
Hard to say at this point. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No. All I can say is, if our residents need to be aware of proper use of heating appliances, proper care when smoking. It could be any of those causes could be a cause of a deadly fire. And we always appreciate the help of our residents keeping the snow around their hydrants clear this time of year. This hydrant was very easily accessible, and those are critical minutes in a fire like this.
That was Fire Chief Thomas Hummel on this deadly Painesville fire situation. Coming up next, you're going to hear from John Gamble. He was the next door neighbor, and the man, he's the one who answered the door when the man living in the burning home that got out was banging on his door, and you're going to hear about the terrible injuries that he had escaping the fire, but understanding that that woman was still in the house. The names, the relationships have not been released as of yet, at least their full names. In the interview, you're going to hear some first names, but not their full names. But we're going to show you that full interview coming up just after the break. We'll be right back. And welcome back to From Someone Who Knows. Again, a chance just to learn a little bit more, for you to hear more of the story than what we air on Channel 19. This was Tuesday morning's major fire in Painesville. We've been showing you the video. The unfortunate part is one woman was trapped inside. She did not get out, and she did not survive. One man was able to get out to bang on his neighbor's door, but he was severely injured trying to get out of this home. The last we had heard, he was in critical condition. No update yet. We know the state fire marshal is investigating, but these situations are incredibly tough. They also lose a dog and a cat in that home. You're going to hear from that neighbor who tried to get some help. This is John Gamble, who's lived in that neighborhood and next door to this home for about the last 40 years.
This morning, I was sleeping and my wife was still asleep. Sean came running over and banging on the door. Boom, 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 help, 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 help. And we didn't get up immediately, you know, and he was walking around in front here yelling, help, 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 my house is on fire. He had already seen that she was gone and his pets were gone. He was all fire burned and terrible, terrible show. I didn't recognize him at first. I thought, who are you? I thought it was a lady down the street. And then he came in and we talked for a couple minutes, and you know, then everybody got here. Luckily the fire department was on the way. The neighbor on the other side, John, he called them in and had you guys coming. And so they've been doing a great job, it seems like. I'm sad for Libby. She's been sick for so long, in and out of the hospital every few days, you know, with breathing problems. She has terrible breathing.
I mean,
But-
can you tell us? I mean, could you hear the fire this morning? Could you hear the popping of it, or were you
Well, when
just?
I came down the stairs, first thing, my windows were like on fire. The fire, I could look over and see the flames shooting out of the side windows. By the time we got Sean inside, it was almost licking against my doors. It's melted all of the paint on the side of my house and my plastic windows. You know, they got the sag.
So, without, I guess, giving their names, can you tell me a little bit about your neighbors? I mean, and especially her. I mean,
Sean,
what kind of
he's
people? What kind of
he's-
people they are?
They're
Are they-
nice folks. Sean snow blows the whole street for everybody, and we take turns. Sometimes he does it, sometimes I do it. He's a great guy, you know, he's very nice. She's been sick for so long, I don't know her very well, but she's been inside, just be doing whatever you do inside your house. And
How are
they're
you?
good. She used to work for MBNA years ago, and you know, he's been sick and hurt in accidents many, many times, and he's very not immobile, but he walks harder than me.
I mean, how are you doing today after seeing this? It's just such a terrible thing to have to
I'm
witness.
so glad that my neighbor called the fire department. We couldn't find I was looking for my cell phone, and I couldn't find my doggone cell phone, and everything's going, you know. And then, you know, see him every couple days. He's always out and around, and
Yeah, he walks his dog.
he helps
Right.
people.
Yeah.
Losing his pet, everybody loved his little doggy. We're a doggy street here. Everybody walks their dogs, and
Sorry.
it's just,
So again, a tough situation out there for this Painesville neighborhood as we still try and wait for answers from investigators. As you saw in some of this video and during the interview, some evidence being brought out of that house. Not saying that this was foul play, but just, looking for a possible source. With it being this cold, you don't know if this could have been a space heater incident. As we heard from the fire chief, it's that time of year. They've already had 7 fires this month alone. He said that is way up from their normal numbers. What can contribute to that? Well, look at how cold it's been this January. Just incredibly cold. Some of the coldest temperatures, deep freeze that we've seen in more than a decade. And so we'll have to wait for an official cause. That's what we do on From Someone Who Knows. That's what this series and this segment is about. You get to find out a little bit more about a story. You get to see more of the emotion from the neighbor and from the fire chief and talking about the severe cold conditions. We have several episodes that we have shot now, and it airs every week. If you scan that QR code, it will take you to a list of our previous episodes. They range in all different topics. Some of them are good news, some of them are tough and heartbreaking news like today's segment. That's going to wrap it up. When we get more information on the Painesville fire situation, we'll have that both online and on air. But for now, I'm Dan DeRose, and this has been From Someone Who Knows.